Hello people, my name is Josh. Recently, I had to take a lot of orders from people who were blackmailing me. I had to obey, otherwise they threatened to put a video of me and my girlfriend on the internet. It was a normal day at school, and I was sitting in the library with my laptop. Suddenly, my girlfriend called me and told me to come find her as soon as possible, in a nervous voice. I thought something was wrong, and a second later I was running down the hall to her classroom. It turned out that she just needed help getting her books into her locker. But when I went back to the library to pick my own stuff up, my laptop was nowhere to be found. That same second, I grabbed my head and I realised that I was in deep trouble. The problem was that there was one video stored on the laptop. Let's just say it was very intimate. I had a girlfriend, Jennifer, and recently I'd had a little argument with her. Ugh, I wish I could say it more gently. I wanted to make a video clip, and it was just me and Jen at my house. Of course, I talked to her about it at first, but she was too shy to agree to it. In the end, I decided to make the video clip in secret, and then show it to her. I expected that then she would understand that everything turned out beautifully, and that she didn't have to be shy. So, one day when Jennifer was at my house, I turned on the camera and hid it between the books on my bookshelf. So, I had this video and now I was sitting in the library in complete frustration. Worst of all, the password to my laptop was password. I thought that the password was a funny joke. At that moment, I didn't want to laugh at all, because if this video surfaced, I would lose everything that was dear to me. Unfortunately, my fears were confirmed. The blackmailer chose an original way to get in contact with me. An unknown account subscribed to me on Instagram, and I received a message from him. The blackmailer said that he found my laptop and that he rubbed it, and a genie came out of the laptop. Now the genie had to fulfill the blackmailer's 3 wishes. Otherwise, this video would be sent to all the students at our school. So, you can understand, I was the genie, and now I was in this bastard's pocket, and I had to wait for the first order. Oh my god, I felt so bad about it. The worst part was that I couldn't tell my girlfriend about it, because she didn't know about the video at all. She'd tear me apart if she found out that it had gotten into the hands of some crazy strangers. I didn't know what to do, so I decided to ask my friend, Manny, for help. But his advice didn't help at all. Manny told me to be honest with my girlfriend. But this wasn't an option. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. So I was totally alone with this problem. And the very next day, I got the first wish that I had to fulfill. This was a joke that should have pleased all the students at our school. But the problem was that he was putting me at risk. But I didn't have a choice. So I took action. It was lunchtime, and I was in the cafeteria. I got macaroni and cheese and tea, but I wasn't going to eat them. There was a guy at our school, Nick. He was a huge dude, and all he did was go to the gym and bullied other kids. When I saw Nick, I picked up my tray and walked over to him. He was sitting at his table, just eating, but suddenly, I picked up a plate of macaroni and just dumped it on his head. At that same moment, all the people in the cafeteria started looking at us, waiting for something terrible to happen. A second later, this guy got up from the table, turned to me, and started picking macaroni out of his hair. I knew that in a second I was going to get hurt. But suddenly, a sausage flew into his face. It looked like someone threw it to support me. A second later, the cafeteria erupted in laughter, and everyone started throwing food at Nick. This was my chance to escape, and I ran out of the cafeteria, away from the noise of the food war, and I was glad I was safe. Oh, thank God. Everyone at school hated this Nick, and I was able to fulfill this wish with no difficulty. Soon, Jennifer found me in the school hallway. She said that I was crazy to provoke Nick, and that she wanted to know why I did it. But I couldn't tell her that I was following the blackmailer's orders, so I just looked really stupid when I tried to mumble some excuse, like I was trying to protect my classmates or get back at Nick for something. In the end, Jen called me a fool and said thank God I was safe. But the next assignment caused me a lot more problems. I thought I was going to get kicked out of school. The next day, I received new instructions. In my locker, I had to find the keys to the radio room at our school, and an envelope that contained text that I had to read out over the speakers. But I was just shocked when I read the text. It was just crazy, and I told the blackmailer that I wasn't going to do it. In response, he started sending screenshots of the video, which he then threatened to send out to everyone. He was serious. I had no choice. Right in the middle of the class, I said I had to go to the bathroom, and I left the classroom. Then I ran to the radio room and closed the door. I turned on the speaker and started reading the text. Attention all students. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. My name is Josh Brown, and I'm in love with Mr. Solberg. I can't hide it anymore. Every time I look at his strong hands or blue eyes, I imagine him carrying me across a field of daisies. I have a very hard time with math, because the whole lesson I'm not looking at the board with the equations, but at Mr. Solberg's lips, which I can't kiss. Okay, I won't embarrass myself anymore. I read this text and heard a powerful laugh. A minute later, someone was banging on the door. It was the principal, and he was incredibly angry. After what I did, punishment was inevitable. The principal called my parents to school and told them about my prank. He also invited Mr. Solberg to the office, and I apologized to him in public. But the worst part was that I was suspended for 2 weeks, which is really bad, because there were important exams coming up, and now there was a chance I could fail them. When I left school with my parents, the second round of instructive conversations with me began. My parents scolded me and said they were going to take away my pocket money. When their anger subsided, Dad surprised me even more. He said, "Josh, if you really liked Mr. Solberg, you could just walk up to him and tell him the truth." Jesus, Dad, it was just a joke. Of course, the next person who wanted to tell me something was my girlfriend. She was mad at me for putting myself in danger for the second time, and she wanted me to tell her honestly what was going on. But I couldn't tell her anything. Everything I did was to keep this secret. This made her very angry, and we had a big fight. I came home very upset and broken. The first wish was just a joke. The second one caused me real problems. I was very afraid to see what my third task would be. And when I saw it, tears came to my eyes. I had to break up with Jennifer. This was my blackmailer's last wish. I don't even know if I need to tell you I didn't want to do this. I loved Jenny, and I didn't want to leave her, but it was useless to resist. In response, I only received more threats. The game was over. This madman would definitely send this video to everyone. To keep my girlfriend safe, I had to leave her. I mean, I had to do it for her own good, no matter how much it hurt me. I made an appointment to meet her at a cafe and decided not to delay the news. So I just said, "We need to break up." She just started crying and yelling at me. I listened patiently and could hardly hold back my own tears. But then Jen got really angry and started insulting me. She said that I was an idiot and she knew I had a video of her. It turned out that one day, Manny saw me moving something suspicious from folder to folder when he was sitting behind me in class, and he told my girlfriend everything. Jen decided to teach me a lesson. So when she asked me to rush out of the library, it was part of their plan for me to leave my laptop there because I was in a hurry. Then, they blackmailed me, and each time, Jennifer was trying to get the truth out of me and make me confess everything. But I was stubborn, and I kept my stupid secret. And now, I decided to leave her altogether. I reminded her that those instructions for me to break up with her came from the blackmailer, her and Manny. But suddenly this information left her baffled. It turned out that Jen didn't know about the third wish, and that this was entirely Manny's initiative. We immediately rushed to his house to figure everything out. There was no point in lying to us because we caught him in the act. So he confessed everything. Manny had long been in love with Jennifer, and he wanted to be with her. However, to do this, he had to get rid of me. So he watched me closely to find an excuse to start a fight between Jen and I. This video was a good reason, but now his plan had collapsed. He tried to justify himself and told Jen to leave me because I'd done her wrong by videotaping us without her permission. But the conversation was over. I breathed a sigh of relief and was glad it was over, but all of the circumstances and luck were not on my side. The whole story made my girlfriend think, and she figured out that she wanted to take a break from our relationship. I'm so sorry that I disappointed her, and that I put her in danger, but I tried my best to save her, and I was willing to do anything to accomplish that. I hope that Jennifer will understand that I love her, and that we'll be together again.